Trump has left the building.
We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency.
What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
Talking of disclosures, one disclosure from former President Trump, he would fire you, ultimately. Unsurprising to you, I'm sure.
So, Caroline, I'll let you go to your next question.
A lot to get on with, and your term is what, until June 2026? But will it run until then? Many feel that perhaps not.
I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. I didn't know he was that unpopular.
If you hold XRP, it is all BS what Ripple has had to go through with the SEC over the past few years. And now that Gary Gensler announced back on November 21st that on January 20th, 2025, he will be stepping down as the SEC governor chair, retail investors issued a farewell letter to Gary Gensler saying, "You will not be forgotten. Seriously, we will never forget you, nor what you did to us. Your reign over the SEC will go down as one of the most destructive periods in financial history, marked by arrogance, incompetence, and an obsessive crusade against innovation. He has managed to embody everything wrong with unchecked regulatory power, leaving behind a legacy of shattered trust and billions in lost value. So bad was your reign that Congress drafted legislation to eliminate your position entirely. Also, President Trump called for an immediate dismissal of your position upon his inauguration. So goodbye, Gary Gensler. We will never, ever forget you." So this has led a lot of people in the crypto space to believe that millionaires will be made by simply holding XRP. Now, in this video, we have to break down what's happening on the XRP to the US dollar price chart on the weekly compared to the past. We also have to talk about XLM and some major developments that are taking place with XLM, MasterCard, and Stripe. On top of that, will Elon Musk be using XLM or XRP for X payments? And why did Elon Musk change his name and his profile picture on Twitter just recently? And what is the secret meaning behind that going into gematria? And a new riddle that has been posted by Bearable Guy on Christmas Eve and decoding the theme of this riddle that you need to know. Because if you are expecting to make millions with XRP, let alone with altcoins, this entire bull run, this is going to be one of the most important videos to pay attention to. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and as always, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So I thought this was absolutely hilarious when Bloomberg roasted Gary Gensler, and he just could not stop shaking because of how nervous he was and how scared of what is going to happen to him when Trump gets in office, because Trump has set a crusade to basically drain the swamp and expose corruption. Now, if you don't like that, it doesn't matter whether you like Trump or not. Getting people like Gary Gensler out of office is the reason why Trump got my vote. And with Elon Musk, or should I now say Kekius Maximus, supporting Donald Trump, Elon Musk used to be a Democrat. So for him to switch over and other Democrats to switch over tells you everything that you need to know. Now, why did Elon Musk change his name? And what is the secret meaning behind this? And what does this have to deal with? Well, first, before I get into that, I want to give you guys an update on the account right here that I started with about $500,000. So if you guys are into sports, check this out. On December 23rd, started placing these tickets on a few of these games right here. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you could see the wins and the losses. And currently this week, the account is now at $1.29 million. So I'm going to keep track of this with you guys. But if you want to learn how to make money with sports, then either reach out to me directly on Instagram at RunLifeNick or send us an email through the email in the description below this video. If you have over $100,000 to work with, if you don't have over $100,000 to work with in disposable income, then don't even bother reaching out, because this is for people who are into sports, number one, have at least over $100,000 to work with, and want to earn an extra passive income on the side of what they're already earning through crypto or your business if you already have your own company as an additional stream of income. Kind of like if you were to diversify into real estate or precious metals or crypto. With a proven strategy, this is very, very lucrative. So send an email, reach out to my Instagram. Would love to jump on the phone with you and explain more about how this is possible. But the real goal here is to rotate capital back into the crypto market before the next leg up. And when will that happen? I'll get into the charts in a little bit. We'll talk about the altcoin market. But first, let's look at this. Elon Musk, he changed his name. Brothers in Arms. Why did he do this? This is resembling Pepe the Frog, and over the past 24 hours, Pepe has jumped up 14% because of this, but still it's down from the all-time high. And so is this just a retracement rally before Pepe goes down further, or are we going to break the all-time high and go back into price discovery? We'll get into that in the chart when we talk about total 2 and total 3, but I thought this was really interesting. If we go over to the Gematria calculator, you can go to gematrix.org and type this in for yourself. We type in Kikius Maximus and we calculate that. You'll see there's a lot of different results based on Jewish gematria. And also if we scroll all the way down here, results by English gematria. And so if we look right here, it shows back to the future. It shows level playing field, twin flame meeting, stupid person. You were chosen. What were you chosen to do? Maybe to unveil the Wizard of Oz? Or could it be XRP, the storm? God answered you to exit the matrix. Happy New Year's. Back to the future, justice is coming, Trump meets God, precious metals. And before you just write it off as a random coincidence, I want you to look at this. We covered this in a previous video where Bearable Guy 123 has posted cartoon riddles over the past few years every Christmas Eve. In the most recent one he just posted right here, we can see the bear on a horse. We see another couple horses with the knight, the king with a hook behind the tree, galloping towards the castle with USD, XRP, and Bitcoin right here. We can see 3 different paths that are bricked roads colored in yellow, purple, and green, the same as the sails. So it's basically combining the past few riddles with the greenhouse. You have another castle over here. The boat, they're off the boat. They've made landfall. And so could it be that next Christmas Eve is the final cartoon that's posted where they are at the castle? We will see. Coincidentally enough, in November of 2025 is when the ISO 222 standard goes completely live globally. So I think by next Christmas, we are going to see the craziest things happen in the crypto space for the ISO standard projects. And you have a whole entire year to accumulate as much as possible. Now, I know that's a long time away because Christmas was just a few days ago and no one wants to wait another entire year for something to happen for XRP or XLM or XDC or HBAR or Algorand or any of the other altcoins that you're holding. So that's why we're going to be here throughout every single day through 2025 to help you guys make the most amount of money possible. And that's why we created Altcoin Pro University. We've had over 1,000 people join. Today is the last day to get started for only $97. The price is going to go up to $197 a month or $1,970 a year. It's only $970 a year. So you can save $194 right now. You're actually saving over $1,000 if you upgrade at this moment while watching this video. So this is extremely time sensitive, guys, because by the time I'm recording this video, when this gets uploaded, you might only have like an hour or 2 left before the price changes. So go to altcoinpro.com now or bullrunners.com through the link in the description below. Just get started. If you're not happy for whatever reason, then we'll give you 100% of your money back within the first 30 days. And you can learn about everything that we're giving you access to when you watch this 26-minute video on the other side. I'm not going to talk about too much in this video about it because I have a lot to dive into, but go check it out. I know you're going to love it. If you don't, worst case scenario, you get your money back and you learn something new. Best case scenario is what we teach works and you completely change your financial situation and become the first millionaire in your family tree. I became a millionaire before 30 by listening to the right people, by surrounding myself with those who really understood what they were doing. So we have the best research team in the world to give you guys all of the information that you need to know about the crypto market. Now, check this out. I thought this was a great post by nfa.crypto on Twitter, decoding this riddle right here in its true hidden meaning. Listen to this.
I think I may have figured out one of the main themes of this riddle, and from this, possibly an even bigger overarching theme that blew my mind. Here's how this rabbit hole started. I saw the riddle posted to Twitter on the morning of Christmas Eve. I looked at it for probably about 5 minutes and realized there was so much going on I'd probably need to tackle this thing after the holiday to spend time with family. But I still wanted to acknowledge the new riddle with a GIF or something, and I figured the most appropriate GIF would need to be cowboy related. So I went into the GIF keyboard, typed in waving cowboy, and there it was. My first search after looking at the riddle for 5 minutes revealed a masked cowboy with the same style mask as the bear. And immediately I knew there was going to be more to this. I still didn't know who the cowboy was though, so I typed in classic masked cowboy into Google and a video popped up of the same cowboy called the Lone Ranger. I clicked the video and this was the introduction to the show.
The Lone Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo Silver, the cowboy yells to his horse in the first 20 seconds. So the horse's name was Silver. Already this piqued my interest, considering BG123 loves referencing silver. But anyway, I now knew the Lone Ranger rode a horse named Silver. So I typed in the Lone Ranger and Silver into Google, and this is what popped up. Confirmation that the horse's name was Silver, and additional information about the show. The Lone Ranger's sidekick Tonto rode a horse named Scout. Scout was originally intended to be solid white like Silver, but was changed to a spotted palomino or paint so that Silver would remain more impressive. Alright, so the Lone Ranger had a sidekick named Tonto, and Tonto had a very specific horse breed in the radio show, a spotted palomino. Anyway, I typed spotted palomino into Google, and there it was, the exact same horse the bear was riding. Side note, after further research, I learned that Tonto's horse in the TV show was actually dark brown and white, but still, the fact that spotted palomino was written in the script and just so happened to lead me to the exact same breed featured in the riddle was interesting enough for me to continue pursuing the Lone Ranger angle. And that's when other connections began revealing themselves. I asked ChatGPT, is perseverance one of the themes of the 1933 TV show The Lone Ranger? To which it said, yes, perseverance is one of the key themes of The Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger's unwavering commitment to justice and his mission to help those in need, despite significant personal loss and constant challenges, embodies the spirit of perseverance. This enduring quality made the show an iconic symbol of heroism and perseverance in popular culture. It had only been about 30 minutes since seeing this riddle for the first time, and the theme seemingly jumped straight out at me simply from a gif of a masked cowboy waving. And it didn't stop there. What did the Lone Ranger wear around his neck? A neckerchief. It became a symbol of the character and was sold in Lone Ranger costume boxes. Well, what is the bear wearing? The same type of neckerchief. Even the color combo of the bear's gun, that unique bluish-gray barrel with the white handle, is the exact same as the Lone Ranger's gun. I mean, look what happens when you color grab the barrel of the original gun. It's the same color as the bear's gun. This is for sure the color a graphic designer would use to portray the Lone Ranger's gun. He also went out of his way to include the screw on the handle in the same place. It's the Lone Ranger's gun, you guys. But speaking of the bear's gun, notice that it isn't a real gun, but a cork gun that shoots a cork on a string. More on that later.
So if you guys want to watch the rest of this video, definitely go check out his research group for the full 15-minute video. And if you guys join his group, go comment on his post and say, hey, we're here because of the bull runners. I think it's only like $10, but he posts some pretty cool decoding videos. And if you think we should team up with him for Altcoin Pro to bring the best value possible for our community, then go either send him a message on Twitter, join his research group, let him know the bull runner sent you, and that you would love to see collaborations between NFA.crypto and the bull runners and Altcoin Pro. And we'll make something happen for you guys. But either way, when we look at cryptobubbles.net, there's so many other opportunities in the crypto space to make money that it is unreal. So all of which our research team is going to be posting about all through 2025. So if you guys feel like you missed out already because, XRP has already grown since, 50 cents upwards of $2, then don't worry, there's still plenty of opportunity left. But what we do need to look at is XRP on the weekly chart and bring up the MACD to see what's happening right now, because we have seen a momentum shift in the histogram on the right-hand side of the screen. You can see from bullish with higher highs on these green candles to now this light green color where we're forming lower highs here. We can also see the MACD line in blue turning around a little bit. So there's one of two situations that can happen here as XRP's price has been pulling back from $2.90 and it's currently sitting at $2.09. Scenario number one is we either see a bearish cross where the MACD line in blue crosses below the signal line and XRP does what it did back here from the 15th of May of 2017 until roughly the 11th of December of 2017 and just goes through a long consolidation period on the left-hand side of the screen as we transition from yellow to green. This was a massive symmetrical triangle that shook out a lot of investors and pissed them off because XRP just fluctuated between 38 cents and 12 or 13 cents for roughly, if I were to measure this out for you guys before it broke out, 210 days. This frustrated a lot of people because the price rallied up from here, and so a lot of people FOMO'd into the markets right here expecting the price to just keep going up, consolidated, and then they sold out like right here, or they sold out right here, or they sold out right here, because it just took a long period of time, like 200 days, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. That's like 7 months, guys. Who's going to sit there and wait 7 months to make a lot of money when everything else is virtually taken off while XRP consolidates? That's like on the right-hand side of the screen, what was happening during this entire phase right here on how long it took from June of 2022 until October of 2024. For 2 years, XRP did virtually nothing. And then bang, it shot up overnight. And so scenario number one for XRP is a bearish cross, and we see something like this takes place where XRP just consolidates. It just consolidates. It does some sort of symmetrical triangle, some sort of falling wedge. Whatever the consolidation pattern looks like is really up to the market makers, the whales, people that are buying or selling XRP. But a longer consolidation would be a momentum shift from bullish over to bearish, or a neutral consolidation where we just move sideways in between a range of support and resistance. In this case, the resistance is all the way up here on the 2nd of December at like $2.90 something cents. Currently, the support is right here at about $1.90. So we're currently within this range. If we see a deeper pullback for XRP, it's not the end of the world, because as you can see right here, the high of 2021 at roughly $2 is acting as support. The next support would be down here at the complacency stage high at like $1.40, $1.50. So it's definitely possible for XRP to dip even lower. If we see Bitcoin take longer to break out, XRP would just continue to bleed out. So that's why we look at things like the MACD on the weekly and the monthly chart, because look on the left-hand side of the screen. When we saw this bearish cross take place right here, XRP's price dropped from like 22 cents down to 13 cents and then just formed higher lows while it gave enough time for the MACD to reset. And it didn't come all the way back down to zero, but it dropped to 0.02 all the way up from like 0.07. And then we saw a bullish cross and a massive injection of liquidity for XRP to go from 20 cents upwards of $3. And so when XRP rallies, it happens quick. There's green candles that happen really, really fast. Just like on the right-hand side of the screen, you guys saw from the 4th of November until the 2nd of December, really quick. In a matter of a month, it shoots up really fast. And then we go through these long, boring, multi-week, multi-month, sometimes a year or two consolidation periods, which is frustrating. So during the consolidation periods is when I keep accumulating, and when I plan on selling XRP is when we are in the light green phase of the market for the parabolic blow off top. Now, I think that's going to be coming in 2025. I think millionaires will be made with XRP, but scenario one, very, very likely a bearish cross. So we just need to watch the MACD. We're going to be watching Bitcoin. Scenario number two is like what happened back here from roughly the 27th of March until the 1st of May on the left-hand side of the screen. This consolidation took roughly 35 days before the next breakout happened to the upside, and then a much longer consolidation took place. And so if we look at the MACD on what it looked like at that point in time, we can see right here when XRP rallied all the way up to almost 7 cents at this massive green candle body close right here, we can see the MACD was at 0.004. The signal line was below it. And then we saw a little bit of a momentum shift in the histogram. You can see these dark green candles right here with higher highs, and then these light green candles forming a lower high. The MACD line started to rotate back around, so it could have very well been a bearish cross, and we could have seen the price consolidate for a little bit longer before continuing higher. But sure enough, 35 days later, we saw a continuation of the uptrend and then a longer consolidation period. So what we would need to see happen here is the MACD line to reverse back to the upside and for a breakout to take place above $2.90. If that does not happen, then we're just going to consolidate for a longer period of time, and the MACD is going to continue to rotate around and inevitably come in contact with the signal line for a bearish cross for a longer consolidation period. So this would be a fake out, and then boom, a mass amount of liquidity gets injected in. Now, leading into January 20th, I would expect there to be some form of buying the news about Gary Gensler stepping down on the 20th in a sell the event of it actually happening, of the inauguration. So I would expect a Trump pump leading into that and for something big to happen in the crypto market. Now, if we don't see that within the first couple weeks of January, then I personally would be shocked. I would expect there to be another move up for XRP leading into January 20th, and then for a longer consolidation period before the tail end of the bull run. Because if we were to measure how long it took for XRP to go from this whole yellow stage of the Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator right here on the 23rd of January is when we transitioned from orange to yellow. Well, it peaked out right here about 112 days in, and then it transitioned to green during that consolidation phase about 196 days in. So if we just measure 112 days in on the right-hand side of the screen from when we transitioned from orange to yellow, well, we're about 91 days in. 112 days would be the 20th of January. Coincidentally enough, that's exactly when Gary Gensler steps down. So could that be where the next peak for XRP is, and then we see a sell-off take place shortly after that? Well, what that would look like on the relative strength index is a bearish divergence, because as you guys can see right here, with that rally up for XRP by the 2nd of December to $2.90, I'll just get rid of the MACD so you can see what I'm looking at on the relative strength index at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Well, the RSI was all the way upwards of 91. That was drastically overbought. So people that were buying above $2.70, $2.90 that weren't looking at the RSI on the weekly got absolutely wrecked. I was not buying any XRP up within these levels. I was buying XRP all the way at 30 cents to 50 to 60 cents, even all the way down at like 22 cents at the bear market bottom when nobody cared about it, just like you guys were that were watching this channel for the past few years. Now, was I buying XRP up here? No, absolutely not. Even though I think it's going to go higher long term, that's just a fool's errand, because in order to make money in crypto, you buy low, you sell high. So what a bearish divergence would look like is the price potentially making a higher high on the next leg up leading into January 20th. And again, I could be completely wrong here. I probably will be wrong, as this is not financial advice. These videos are purely for information, educational purposes only, and speculation as well too on some of my predictions. But I like to back them up with logic and facts for you guys and explain the reasoning why I believe what I believe. But a bearish divergence simply means we make a higher high on the price chart and then a lower high on a key indicator. So this would look like the RSI trying to make a recovery back to 91, but not quite making it up to it. So maybe we make it to 80 to 85, and then on the next consolidation, the RSI resets down near 50 or even lower, and that would be the next consolidation phase for XRP. Similar on the left-hand side of the screen, let me delete the MACD and let's go ahead and add the RSI. You just type in RSI under indicators. It's called the relative strength index. And look at this. We saw the exact same thing take place all the way here for this first rally up by the 27th of March. Look at where the RSI was at. It was at 95 up here in overbought territory. And then during that quick little sell-off, 35 days of consolidation, the RSI came all the way down to 61. Look at where the RSI is right now. It's at 72. So yes, XRP could come a little bit further down, $1.50, $1.80, wherever the bottom is in before we see the next leg up. And then the next leg up would be a recovery in the RSI. Look on the left-hand side of the screen. The RSI bounced from 61 to 93. It didn't quite make it to the previous high, and it formed a lower high on the RSI, but a higher high on the key indicator. This was a sign that momentum was shifting over from bullish to bearish, and there wasn't much time left in the bull run after that, because as you guys can see, we formed an even lower high right here at like 95 as well on the relative strength index for the all-time high. So higher high right here on the price chart, higher high right here on the price chart, lower high right here on the indicator, and then an equal or lower high right here on the indicator of the RSI as well too. And so what that would look like on the right-hand side of the screen is a rally up leading into January, followed by a long drawn-out consolidation through 2025, and then the final blow-off top for XRP, in my opinion, somewhere between $5 to $30. And so wherever XRP ends up at the end of this bull run, for my price prediction, I don't care. Someone asked me, like, what's my price prediction that I'm going to sell? What's my price that I'm going to sell XRP at? I don't sell based on price. I sell based on when we are overbought on the macro, where Bitcoin is at based on the MACD, the RSI, the stochastic RSI on the monthly. Also, I look at Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator. I bring up the pi cycle bottom and top indicators to see where the top's at as well too. I just look at where the sentiment is at. If everyone's interested in crypto and we're at the end of the 4-year market cycle theory based on Bitcoin's halving, that's a relatively good time to get out. I look at Google Trends. I see where the search volume's at for SEO as well too. All of which I'm going to be sharing with you guys inside of Altcoin Pro University as well too when I plan on selling. But right now, I do expect XRP to make another attempt at a rally up leading into Gary Gensler's resignation and Trump's inauguration. Now, what does that mean for something like XLM? I just expect XLM to follow XRP and be more volatile than XRP because, as you can see on the weekly chart right here, we can see the MACD, turning around, and we see a momentum shift on the histogram from bullish over to bearish, where we can see lower highs coming in on the bottom of the screen right here. And we see the MACD turning around, getting close to the signal line. So either we see a liquidity injection come in, leading to Gary Gensler's resignation, and we just see a reversal right here and a fake out to where we don't see a bearish cross, or we don't see the Trump pump and we see a bearish cross take place, and then XLM just slowly bleeds out and then consolidates for a period of time before the next liquidity injection in the crypto market happens for the final stage in the bull run. And wherever that puts XLM during the final stage of yellow or light green would be the top of the market. And so we're going to be looking at this color code on the Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator. And I personally am going to be selling a little bit further into the yellow phase right here. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you guys can see what happened during this period where we saw the MACD rotate around. And it was a fake out. It bounced off of the signal line, Then we saw the bearish cross happen right here by the 17th of May at the end of the bull run. So we can see fake outs like this take place where, if I just erase everything that I've drawn up thus far, where we see the MACD line bounce off of the signal line, blow off top, and then see the bearish cross in the later stage of the bull run to look something like this, where we see these rallies, pullbacks, and then final parabolic blow off tops. Then we see the bear market take place. Very similar to what happened back here. So that's why you just got to buckle up, back up the truck, and get ready for the ride. And those of you that bought all the way back down here, you literally just do nothing. You sit and you wait, and then you sell as we get a little bit closer to the top. Because if you're selling right now, you're selling on a dip. And then most people that get shaken out at this period right here, that's exactly when the market makers and the billionaires just come in and pump in billions of dollars to rally the markets back up past the previous high to go back into price discovery. Because when we look at this right here, this year was one to remember for XLM. They bagged two legacy payment giants in MasterCard and Stripe. But just how big are Stripe and MasterCard for those of you out there that have heard of the companies but don't really grasp how massive a deal this is? In 2023, MasterCard processed over 9 trillion in transactions, while Stripe did 1 trillion in total payments volume for the year. So these are some pretty impressive numbers, but let's look a little further at how essential these two are in payments. In the US, 68% of e-commerce stores use Stripe for payments, and 20% of global payments go through MasterCard. So as we can see, these two are pretty critical players within our global digital payment economy. And funny enough, Stripe and MasterCard are also two of the primary uses in payments in our day-to-day for Altcoin Pro as well too, as tokenizer that made this post right here. So lots of business owners, lots of entrepreneurs are using these platforms. And Stripe and Stellar have some interesting history with their connections, as Stripe was a seed investor of Stellar. Earlier this year, we saw executives of Stripe invited to discuss at Stellar's Meridian event, and Stripe announced at that event it will be using Stellar for digital payments. Now, also, Elon Musk company X works with Stripe to verify your identity, where you scan a valid photo ID, you basically take a selfie to make sure it's yours, and Stripe uses biometric technology on your images to make sure it's you. And interestingly enough, Jed McCaleb is also partnered with Elon Musk through his Vast company. So X has already partnered with Stripe for payments. The next logical step is to use something like XLM. On top of this, we saw Stripe's head of crypto discussing plans for integration of Stellar into Stripe. While we've yet to see an official partner announcement, it's closer than ever before. Integrations are already discussed, the connections are already established, and potential utility is clear as day. On the other hand, things with MasterCard seem to be progressing quite smoothly. We saw MasterCard integrate their crypto credential services into Stellar for verified interactions across public distributed ledger technologies. More specifically, this helps verify interactions among consumers and businesses on chain, and this also plays perfectly into all the regulations around crypto payments like KYC, AML that we've been seeing. But this is just step one of the partnership. MasterCard aims to integrate far more services beyond just their crypto credentials in the years to come. In return, we could soon see MasterCard's world-class payment services live on Stellar too. These two have been absolute payment giants in the legacy space, and The key to staying alive as a business is you have to adapt in order to dominate. You cannot just stay stagnant. Otherwise, you're going to be like Blockbuster to Netflix, taxi cabs to Uber and Lyft, hotel chains to Airbnb. You're going to get put out of business. So if blockchain is the future and MasterCard has been dominating for decades, while Stripe has become the new hottest payment method within the e-commerce industry, I'd imagine that things with these two really begin kicking off in the Stellar ecosystem starting next year. And we're going to be covering all of that information, all that news for you guys on a consistent basis. Payments innovation on distributed ledger technology is happening in front of our eyes. You just got to look in the right places, like on the Bull Runners channel. And as we've been seeing, Stellar's the home for all of that. So this was a great post here by Tokenizer. And the majority of people don't even know that XLM and XRP are ISO compliant. And we're going to see that shift within banking as well too, because XRP has been successfully tested on the SWIFT network by over 11,000 banks, and 1% of SWIFT's network to run through XRP would put XRP at $100 according to Jack the Rippler. Listen to this.
SWIFT is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., Nostra reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where SWIFT would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, but payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement of the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace SWIFT. Ripple is one of the complementary networks which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that SWIFT are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the SWIFT network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
And also we have this clip right here from the CEI of SBI Holdings. In my video yesterday, I talked about how he said a few years back that every bank in Japan will utilize XRP in 2025. We'll listen to what he just said about the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit.
何週間かで裁判所の結論が出ると彼は考えてるみたいです。結論が出て、リップルの XRP がコインだということになると、これは大変な値段になると思います。我々外部の筆頭株主ですから、大変なキャピタルゲイン、売ればキャピタルゲインでリアライズされますけど、売れなくても相当なものになるだろうというふうに評価上ですね、思ってます。多分結論がポジティブに出ればすぐ。
So guys, we got Gary Gensler stepping down. We got Trump coming into office. We have the decision about the lawsuit being over. They just need to wrap it up. The news on that alone is so freaking bullish that if you don't see it, well, multi-billionaires and trillion-dollar companies that have assets under management in the tens of billions or hundreds of billions like BlackRock, Fidelity, Van Eck, Grayscale, they see it. You don't have to. So whether you buy XRP or not, it's not going to affect my lifestyle whatsoever. I've already made a lot of money in crypto. And of course, there's always more money to be made. That's why we're here to help you guys out each and every single day. For example,
our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny. And since then, it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap or 16 cents back on February 18th of 2023. All the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree. If that's a goal of yours, our goal is to help 1,000 members set their portfolio up for life this month. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.